Oh, boy. About 3 months ago, this guy Shaun writes me. He says, I got this problem. I have this house. I spent good money on this home, and I've been fixing it up, and it's a beautiful house. He sent me a picture of the home. I mean, more than 3 months ago. And is there anything you could do to help me? Because the people right across the street from me, my neighbors, have got all these busted down RVs, cars coming and going in the middle of the night, taking stuff out of the back of the cars and selling stuff. It's drug activity. It's just a mess. And I said, well, let me call a couple of people that I know that might be able to help you out. And to no avail. And every once in a while, he texts me more pictures and more sad stories. He was right on the verge, Shari, of just saying, you know what? Screw it. I bought this house. I love this home. I put all of this effort into it. And if Pierce County and the city of Tacoma aren't going to clean up the dump next door with the drug activity, with the crime, I'm going to be forced to sell the house for a loss and find a new home. And then this morning, wow, Shaun joins us on the line now. Finally, you got some service from the city of Tacoma and from Pierce County, Shaun. Congratulations.
Thanks, John. It's one very small step. I'm not celebrating quite yet, but yes, it is. It was a relief to hear those trucks backing in this morning.
How many times did you contact the city or the county, and how often, and what was the normal response?
This has been going on. We bought the house almost 6 years ago. This horrific show across the street's been going on for about 3 years now.
Okay.
Countless times I've been in discussion with the city code compliance, environmental services, the police, our chief liaison officers, the deputy attorney, the mayor, city council members. It's just been nonstop. Countless emails, countless letters, phone calls. I've gone to city council meetings just bringing this stuff up because this isn't just the neighbor that's got a few, garbage bags in his yard. This is unbelievable what we just witnessed today of how many city dump trucks just came in and cleared that building out.
I saw the RVs, not in the best of shape, and the cars that were in there as well. And let's assume they're not just taking broken down vehicles out of there. Drugs, were they able to arrest anybody for any other activities?
No, in fact, so speaking with our chief liaison officers now, if I may say, those guys are always awesome, and they've told me countless times that their hands are tied because of the city policies by our city council, that they have effectively made all felony drug possession, drug activity, they knocked it all down to misdemeanors, and then they've instructed the police not to make any misdemeanor arrests for drug activity, essentially making drug use legal. So the officers that I spoke with today, they said, look, we know what's going on in here. We see it. Even if I see a bag of crack laying there or a big meth lab, he's like, we've been directly told there's nothing we can do because, number one, this is a different type of warrant. This was a city code compliance warrant. This seemed to be our only workaround. And he said they don't go after drug warrants anymore like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen the cop shows where, the guy dresses up like a junkie and goes in and buys drugs and boom, SWAT swarms in. In this case, he just said that their hands are tied, and this is the third time we've had this, this code compliance abatement performed, and all the neighbors. I mean, we're all just so tired of it. It's insane. So we counted today. They pulled out about 26 propane tanks. They towed out, it looks like 9 cars, 3 RVs. It was chaos. And of course, some of the people living in the RVs came out yelling and screaming, and they don't understand, and just the nonsense. It's just exhausting.
Shaun, do you know the people that own that piece of land where those things are parked? And because they seem to react to what happened today, are you at all concerned about retaliation?
100%. Yeah, I mean, we always are. I run a business. I'm out of town quite a bit. My wife's home with our 3 kids. There's always, because of the clientele, I suppose, for lack of better words, that come walking down our street because they know that's where to get their fix. And sorry, I'm not a drug expert, so I don't know the cool kids lingo these days. But whatever they're doing in there, the constant night activity. We've seen people go into the RVs with their babies left in the car. Me and the neighbor one day actually had to pound on one of the RVs because there was a 2-year-old infant left in the car while they were getting stoned. We've called the police. They've been there countless times. There's been shootings at that house. It's just been chaos for 3 years. So we're really hoping this is, going to make a turn.
How close were you to just bagging the whole thing and just walking away?
Well, we still haven't thrown that off the table. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen now. This is the third time. This is the worst we've ever seen it. All the neighbors, we were all standing out there with just our jaws on the ground because we couldn't believe that they had 3 dump trucks. And they told us just this afternoon that they're not done. They're about halfway done. So they're going to be back tomorrow. It's just unbelievable. So we got this gorgeous house. It is tough when, you built memories here. I can't say they've been the best memories the past few years, but, my boys in the house and all this it's a great piece of property. It's just such a beautiful 1920s craftsman. And now we're just kind of going, look, if we're not going to get any help, we really just got to get out of here. And that's kind of the theme of the city of Tacoma. The city, even the officers, we had this conversation, I guarantee, because some of the city council members, I grew up in North End Tacoma. I don't know if you know North and South Tacoma the difference. The North End is kind of the more, elite, really nice area. And that's where I grew up. In fact, we sold our Proctor house from over there and bought this one just because it was bigger, nice tucked back land. And then this happened. I promise you, and I guarantee, because I know the people over there, had this been occurring over there in one of the city council members' front yards, that would have been handled day one. There's no way they would have allowed that in their neighborhood. But the Tacoma theme is, and I just know from experience growing up here, it's shifted down south. We don't care. And it's a shame because there are good people in South Tacoma. It reminds me of the 80s when all the hilltop crap was going on with, the Crips and the Bloods and all that junk. And the police didn't go into that area. It's always been that theme of kick it down there. We'll just protect our herd. That's my theory. It's not to say that every person on the city council is rotten, but I don't have a good feeling for any of them at the moment.
So, Shaun, as we wrap this up, any advice, because you won't be alone. This story is not that unusual. The reason we're having you on is because you actually have success that they'll go back in there tomorrow, however you measure success. Any advice to anybody else that's dealing with the same thing?
Get out of Tacoma. I mean, really, that's what we're like I said, we're playing with the idea of just leaving the state, unfortunately. But the way things are going, nobody seems to care in the city council level. I don't know if this is, I don't like going down those rabbit holes of is this by design, what's going on here, but I've never seen anything like this in my life growing up in Tacoma. Just this constant chaos with the drugs, the RVs, the homelessness. It's just so sad, and nobody seems to care, no matter what we do. The countless letters, you get your little, blurb responses. We're looking into it, this kind of stuff. I say if you're in a neighborhood where you've got a neighbor like what we're experiencing, and the code compliance guy told me today, we're not the only one, but there's several, which, not doesn't make you feel better. It's not no consolation, but knowing that we're not the only one, I say if you're dealing with this and you can't get any help, it's time to just leave the town.
Wow, not the answer I thought you were going to give us. I thought as a dad, you got, I think, 3 kids, and your daughter went out there and screamed at the cops. I said, oh, good video of that. You didn't send me that. But
no,
your advice is, leave.
Yeah, we're done with it. We've just reached a breaking point because I can't go through this again. Always, my family, their safety is priority one. We've fought this to the point where we're just exhausted now. We've got some great realtors. We're going to, hopefully, while now that house is not such a disaster eyesore, we're likely just going to put the house on the market and get out of town.
Well, there goes a taxpayer. There you go, Tacoma. Congratulations. Well, Shaun, thanks, I guess, for the small victory that it is. And your Your compliments to the people that were in there today, cleaning up that mess and dealing with the garbage that was
they were
left
great
behind.
today.
Yeah.
They were on top of it.
Okay.
And thank you guys for letting me, bring some light on this over the past few months.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't help. I turned you over to a few people that I knew, and they said, forget it. There's like you said, at a certain point, they just sort of draw a line as far as the county, the government's concerned, and anything happens out there, that's somebody else's problem. So away it'll go. Well, best of luck to you. I hope you get some money back on that beautiful house. You've done some great work on it. It is gorgeous, and it's unfortunate, but and your story is not unique, unfortunately. So, Shaun, thank you. Take care of the kids.
Will do. Thanks, John. Thanks, Shari.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you see the picture, Shari? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a pretty house. And right across the street, that's what you get. So, and again, for him, very terrifying. I'm sure he's got all sorts of cameras up. They had cameras on the other side, so anytime he would try to get over there, they had the cameras out there, and they'd come out and scream and yell at him. You don't want to mess with people that have don't think twice about hurting you to protect whatever they've got going on over there.